So what does a day in the life of a truck dispatcher look like? Well, I guess it all depends what kind of dispatcher you are. Here at ET Transport, we have regional dispatchers, local dispatchers, and we have our own brokerage department too. We have a Maritimes department, a Flatbed division, a Georgia division, an LTL division, the full load division. We got lots. So I thought, why not give you a day in the life of some of these positions? Working as a dispatcher at a trucking company can be a lot of fun, but it can also be very stressful. Now, don't take my word for it. Why don't you see for yourself? First, let's start off with Inga. She oversees our Flatbed division. Let's see what her morning routine looks like.
Good morning, Inga. How are you?
Good morning. Oh, just another day.
We'd love to get to know your day, specifically your mornings. So what division are you working for?
So Flatbed division, the mornings are very intense.
Okay. How many power units do you control?
About 20 units.
20 flatbed?
Yeah.
Drivers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So morning usually starts with sitting down, getting all your softwares up and start looking for first thing to check emails. Anything that came from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Okay. What time do you walk in?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. you start. Okay.
Yeah. So the early birds email are very important because they basically can set up your day.
Okay.
If there's any updates about strict appointments from, let's say, 20 trucks that you have on the road, maybe between 3 to 5 trucks will have strict morning appointments. So you want to prioritize and check them first, get everybody updated. If there's any delays or issues that were happened during the night, you want to make sure that it's communicated properly. And then once you put them aside, then you start your routine check with other 15 drivers. Are they on schedule? Did everybody wake up? Nobody slept in? If there's any delays, anything that happened during the night that might pose any delay. Once you check all your drivers, you send email notifications to the load brokers and the customers, just so they know that everything is on schedule, nothing too major to be worried about. And then you need to start checking drivers' hours of service because you want to plan. You want to know what time driver is delivering so you know how much time he has to pick up. Let's say if his pickup is 300 miles away, will he have time to get to the pickup?
Correct.
So updating load booking board is very important with drivers' hours of service.
Give me an example of what kind of problems that you can face first thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning, I come and I have a 9 a.m. crane appointment and the driver, it's 8 a.m. and driver is 2 hours away. So that's a huge problem because crane is something that you set up prior and it's $500 per hour, usually for crane, and you have 1 hour of mistake, maybe.
Wiggle room.
Wiggle room, yes. So right away you call and you see why the driver is late. Is it a human factor or is it something that wasn't not under our control? Border road closures, DOT inspection, for example, driver can be pulled in an inspection right before his delivery and there's nothing you can do. So if you have a proof that something happened that it's not a human factor, that basically kind of a validation of it's not our fault. Please, update the customer, let them know that we're going to be running 1 hour late. If it's a human factor, then we need to just tell the brokers the truth.
Who's easier to deal with, our direct customers or brokers?
Oh, definitely direct customers because you deal directly with the person that hired you, right? Versus brokers that they have their customers and you don't know.
Well, they just like to inflate problems.
To create more money. They understand they don't want to lose anybody as they understand that they, the best of the best. They don't want to provide field service. So, but that's something that can happen, and everybody in logistics understands that things that happen on the road sometimes can cause problems. So as long as it's communicated in timely manner, and I'm sure that if there's an inspection that was pulled in the morning, that's a good proof. But if something happened during the night, our after hours team always communicates and loops in all the customers. So if customer didn't read an email until 9 a.m. in the morning, it's not something that we can control. But notification, it's very important.
What would you say is the most important quality to be a dispatcher or to do your line of work?
Be proactive. Yeah, be a chess player. If you're not 2 steps ahead, you're behind.
At what part of the day do you plan tomorrow?
Usually on Mondays, we already plan Wednesdays. Okay. So once again, 2 steps ahead. Obviously, the way that things are unfolding can change our plans. Loads get canceled, shipments might not be ready, and you have to reshuffle everything. But usually by 1 p.m., you already know if drivers delivered on time and they pick up on time, and you can estimate their arrival back to the terminal, so you can estimate their departures and notify the load bookers.
How do you deal with you walk in the morning and there's a breakdown that happened at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. last night? I mean, how does the message get relayed to you?
So first of all, we get notification from after hours team and safety department.
Okay.
If it's a serious issue, usually the truck or trailer, either we call the service to be towed to the dealership or to the truck stop or TA or whatever it needs to be taken care of. So we have work orders. This is my proof that something happened to the equipment. Don't forget that we also have ELD, Samsara tracking, and we can always pull up the report what time truck stopped and at what location, and provide it as a proof to the customer. Then we make sure that the equipment manager always replies in all email chains on updates with what's going on with equipment. Now, if it's something very serious, we usually also try to repower. That might happen, that we will need to repower and take if it's a truck related, right?
Claro.
If it's not
So a lot of people might not know that terminology. Can you give me what does in detail repower mean?
Repowering. So, for example, truck is down. I have a shipment that has a very important appointment the next day, and it's about 500 miles away, and I have different other trucks in the area that have either got empty or have shipments that don't have deadlines. So I will probably then head the driver to the down truck, leave them the empty trailer or the trailer doesn't have a deadline, and just take the more important load and put another driver on it, another truck, and have it delivered in order to provide a service.
So you would do these switches for your customers for
Absolutely,
purpose.
yeah.
Anything else you would like to share to inspiring dispatchers or anybody that's thinking of getting into this industry?
Oh, absolutely. It's very entertaining if you look in a positive way. You always try to look at the half glass full. It's like you're coming and you have a game board, and every day you play a different game, if that's how you look at it, and you learn every day, okay? So
but there's a lot that's not in your control.
Yes, but you can foresee the events, and you can be proactive, and sometimes you can point out to your customers and help them to prevent the problem from happening. And that's a first sign of a great dispatcher. She help the customer to prevent. So being proactive, 2 steps ahead, being knowledgeable, that's very important.
Nice. Okay,
But it's definitely a very dynamic industry.
So you can walk in here and everything's going crazy, or it could be a nice calm morning.
Nice calm morning, it's going to be boring in dispatcher's life. You don't want to have any problems that are going to damage your image, right? But the daily problems are going to happen all the time, and we can solve them. That's why we're here. We're here to solve the problem because they're inevitable. Right. There are so many factors in one movement of the shipment. There is a load broker, customs broker, there is customer, there is a shipper, receiver, there is a dispatcher, there's a truck, there's a trailer, there's a road closures, there's a weather element. So anything can happen. Okay.
How long have you been doing this?
15 years.
15 years?
Yeah.
And
who's counting?
How was the learning curve at the beginning?
Learning curve. Well, I was lucky. I got a teacher. They just threw me in the water and say, okay, swim. But everybody's different. Some people need more guidance and more, walking with them along the lines. And some people like to get challenged and be thrown in the water. I got lucky. I like challenges. I like learning new things. And nowadays, everything is in your fingertips. If you want to learn, you will learn. Definitely, I would suggest everybody that wants to get into industry, because if you know dispatching, it doesn't matter. You can apply it to any areas of your life. Okay, logistics, it's common sense, which is not that common nowadays, but it's common sense and problem solving. Problem solving skills are number one for me to succeed in this life, because problems will happen all the time.
Now, before we head off to Karina, who works in our Maritimes division, I want you to know that most of these dispatchers that I have here today on the screen, I've trained from ground up. They came here from a totally different industry, which I prefer, and me and my team have brought them to where they are today, and we can do the same for you. Now let's hear from Karina.
Hi everyone, my name is Karina and I'm Logistic Coordinator at Maritimes Department here at Teti Transport. And today I want to give a quick look into a day in my life, how it looks like. Okay, so one of my first tasks in the morning is tracking our trucks to ensure everything is on schedule. And I'm using our GPS tracking, and it shows in real time where the driver is right now. It helps us to avoid any delays. And also our dispatchers updating me when the load is done, delivered. So I'm just going to our software and checking if each document is here, POD, ACI. And if everything is correct, I'm just confirming and sending to invoicing and checking for our account. Next step, I'm always in communication with our brokers, like providing updates, answering calls, and resolving any issues. Since it's logistics, not everything goes smoothly. Last minute changes, delays, unpredictable breakdown can happen. So you need to be prepared for that and be proactive. And the main thing, be always available on your phone and be clear in communication, because it's that thing which makes this logistics going smoothly. So you need to keep this in mind. One of my main responsibilities here is also to build LTL trailers, and LTL stands for less than truckload. So the aim is to maximize the capacity, but following technical regulations, weight distribution and securing load, so you need to keep it right. We typically gather loads from two resources, is from US, and they are done by our highway drivers. And the second is across the GTA, and our city planner accommodate that, and the city drivers picking up them. So here will be a quick call with Julia, our city load planner. I just want to make sure where my trucks are and if they're picking up them until what time, so I can update the customer. Hi Julia, yeah, how is it going? I'm calling you right away now to get update regarding my two loads, which you're picking up for me today. One is for Fast Logistics in Brampton, 2 skids, and another one for Rapid Transportation, 5 skids. Yeah, could you please give me a quick update where are the trucks now and when we can expect them for pickup? Got it. Okay, trucks 36. Okay, noted. So accordingly, now it's 11:23. I can update the customer that they will be there at 1 p.m. It will work. Okay, so she let me know that the truck is currently in Brampton, finishing her current delivery, and after that they're going right away to my pickup, and after that one they're going to Mississauga. So I can update customer accordingly that they will be there in around 1-2 hours. So once the freight picked up and brought to our warehouse, we need to measure the dimensions to make sure everything fits right. Because the main thing is to utilize all the capacity, the space effectively. So we double check the dimensions and then we can load the trailer. But it's not only about just fitting the trailer. We also build the trailer which aligns with delivery time frames. So for example, if we have delivered 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning, we for sure will put that load on the very back and the tail, so it will be unloaded first, and then just other loads we can arrange them based on the location and delivery time frames. That was a quick look into a day in my life as logistic coordinator at ET Transport Maritime Division looks like. Thanks for watching and bye for now.
Now, before we get into hearing from Frank, some of you may know that 2 years ago, we opened up a trucking company in the US where I documented my journey and created a 7-part series to help others do the same. Our terminal in Atlanta, Georgia is where we service US to US loads, and we collect LTL from the state of Georgia going into Canada. And Frank is in charge of that division. So let's hear from him.
Hi, my name is Frank. I run the Georgia facility here at ET Transport. First thing in the morning, and I check my emails, and I go through to see if there's any problems from the night before, see if any customers have requested anything. Then I update my load link board and see if any freight that I might need. I look for full loads locally in Georgia that we take to Alabama, South Carolina. We do flatbeds, we do reefers in that location. And then I continue building LTL loads, whatever I could find. Continue building it to make a full load back to Ontario or Nova Scotia or Moncton, the Maritimes. I also service our office there, our building there. We provide storage services and cross-docking services. So should anybody need that, I get an email saying that they're requesting for us to do a cross-dock or a storage for a month or two or however long. Then I update my spreadsheet and I build a load and make sure it complies with proper paperwork and weight. And then we dispatch our drivers, give it to our dispatchers. They dispatch them. And I rinse and repeat and do the same thing over the next day. Pretty much same thing every day. Pretty much then like I said, we rinse and repeat. That's what we do day in and day out, and build as many loads as we possibly can. We're on the phone quite often. Most things are done by email. We try to do everything by email. Much easier, this way there's no hearsay. Rate-wise, we give them a rate, and we can always refer back to that rate and say, yes, you did quote me on this, because on the phone sometimes it's not quite reliable, who to believe, so it's better to be done by email. It's always best by email. That's pretty much what I do during the day, and it's like rinse and repeat, keep doing the same thing the next day.
Now, before we move on to Robert, the head of our inbound freight, I do want to say that about 15 months ago, our lives has changed dramatically because of the revolutionary technology by LoadConnect. Basically, it's AI technology that has helped our load bookers significantly make the booking process a lot easier. Now let's hear what Robert has to say.
My name is Robert, and I am the load planner here at ET Transport. My duties here are pretty much planning shipments for inbound and from the US, and we have yards in Moncton and Alberta that we do have to plan as well. So anything outside of our terminals in Ontario, Ohio. I have to fill those trucks and trailers and make sure their wheels are rolling.
So what percent of the loads would you say comes from customers versus load boards?
Well, it depends. So ET is very strong in the Maritimes. We have a terminal in Moncton, so most of our loads out of the Maritimes in New Brunswick are from customers.
Okay.
Whereas inbound, it varies based on destinations such as Illinois, Georgia's. We have customers in. But if we're in spots like Idaho, Washington, Oregon, places we don't travel a lot, I'm booking off the board. We don't have a lot of customers in Alberta, so in Alberta, we're working with a lot of brokers and broker-to-carrier relationships instead of direct customers.
Nice. So you're in charge of the whole fleet, 115 power units?
Correct.
Approximately, okay. And how many people are in your division or you're in charge of?
So in our booking team, we have Diana, Alex, and Kadim.
Okay.
So it's 3 of us, 4 including me.
4 including you, okay. And usually how do you converse with them? How do you talk to them?
So I talk to them through Teams. We're on Teams pretty much 24/7 during our shift, and whenever we need to speak, we talk on Teams.
Can you explain a little bit about when you walk in here, what do you do? Like, how do you plan out your day?
So the first thing I do when I walk in is check my emails for any delays or any transit delays or driver legal hours. I look in advance, so I try to book in advance, 1-2 days in advance, instead of booking on for trucks on the day of. Just do any market checks, see where it's hot and where it's slow, and then book trucks and plan accordingly.
Right, so if today is Monday, you're booking trucks for Tuesday or for Wednesday already?
We try to go for Wednesday,
Wednesday.
But if the market's slow, then we book for Tuesday.
So your board, what do you understand there in your board? How do you understand something
So we have plenty of boards. So we have a board for van reefer division.
Okay.
We have a board for the Maritimes, and we have a board for interstate, U.S. to U.S. We pretty much take care of van reefer division, which is pretty much U.S., Alberta, and the Maritimes. But for the U.S. to U.S., ET Motor, Min takes it.
Min takes it. So Min is in charge of the U.S. to U.S.
Yes.
So your division only does Canada to U.S. and U.S. to Canada.
Correct. Cross-border.
Okay, perfect. So how do you understand anything there?
So whatever is in red means there's some sort of issues or there's a load a truck that needs to be booked.
Okay. Can we hear a conversation of yours? Like a live one?
ET, Robert speaking. Hey Jack, how are you? Not too bad. What can I do for you?
Julia, did you send a picture?
No, the Alberta's covered. I might have more Albertas probably next week, Monday, Tuesday. But I'm still waiting for orders to be sent out there. So I have trucks in Washington, Oregon I can probably send out to Alberta, but I won't know until Monday. We can talk again Monday if you'd like. No, we only have about 2 teams in their entire fleet. Most of our drivers are solos. Okay? Yeah, we'll talk soon. Thanks, Jack. Bye.
So what was that phone call about?
So he's asking me about trucks in Alberta for next week. Most of our trucks are booked already, but I wouldn't tell him that. So I'm planning to send trucks to Alberta because I know he has loads. So I tell him I have trucks in Washington, Oregon that I'm working on that I can send to Alberta.
In an hour or two, how many phone calls like this do you get?
I lose count, probably.
Like a couple of hundred in a day you're dealing with this?
Probably up to 100 an hour.
100 an hour phone calls like that?
Yeah, but most of the time it's just random rates, like rate requests for random stuff
Just people calling.
we service or don't service.
All right, so back to the board. So you have a board and it tells you what you and your team are covering, right? Do you designate like the southeast to one person or west coast to another person, or how do you?
So right now everybody knows what to book for. So right now Kadim mainly focuses on West Coast.
Okay.
And he does support in the Maritimes as well if needed. And then Alex focuses on LTL both inbound and outbound.
Okay.
Just to fill up trailers that has space or building any LTL trailers.
Okay.
And Diana mainly books inbound from the U.S.
Diana books inbound from the US. Got it.
Or she fills, meaning supporting anybody that needs help.
Right now, this month, what's the hardest to book? What would you say? Like West Coast, Southeast?
I'd say it's pretty much a struggle everywhere you go because of the tariffs. But the hardest areas to book is where ET does not have customers, direct customers, such as Idaho, Washington's, Oregon's, and anywhere Midwest, like Montana's, Utah's. I would say that was the hardest. We relied only on brokers and whatever we see on the load board.
But Illinois, Wisconsin, Georgia, Florida, you're good.
Obviously, the market's not in great condition today, but we have loads coming out of it. And the rates are not crazy, but we have loads coming out of it.
Nice. Okay. What's a stressful day for you?
A stressful day is
When you see a lot of reds?
when you see a lot of reds and 5 truck breakdowns and 20 trailer switches we have to do, and that's a stressful day.
What is meant by, so a truck breaks down, who coordinates the switch?
So I'm the planner. I'm the team lead of this booking team. So my job is to coordinate any trailer switches or any driver swaps that to ensure like on-time service.
So the customer is expecting his delivery on Monday, Tuesday. You're making sure you're doing switches to
make sure
accommodate
that
the
the shipment's
customer.
on time.
You have to see who's in the area. You have to see which truck has which load.
Correct.
Delivery dates, and
And then coordinate it with the dispatcher, the booker, and the customer to ensure on-time service.
Anything else you'd like to share with aspiring dispatchers, people that want to get into this industry?
Something to share with them. Take it one step at a time because things could get stressful.
How do you deal with stress?
Go for a walk outside.
Go for a walk outside. Just clear your mind and
Clear
just.
your mind and reset and come back.
Now, I think it's no secret that all truck drivers want pin-to-pin work. So here in the Greater Toronto Area, we try to have all of our trailers preloaded for our highway drivers. And we try to deliver their inbound trailers as well, so we can maximize the mileage for the drivers. So I think it would be great that you hear from Yulia, who's fairly new to the industry, but has a very crucial role in our company.
I'm Julia, and I'm a city planner. And what I'm doing, I'm dispatching my 9 drivers.
9 drivers. Okay, so you are in charge of local.
Yep,
Okay.
that's correct.
What does the day look like? You walk in here. What happens when you walk in
Okay,
here?
so I'm waking up. Since that time, I'm receiving the calls from my drivers because sometimes we have few issues in the early morning when everyone is sleeping.
Okay.
So then I'm coming to the office. First of all, I'm checking my emails and replying to the customers with the information they needed,
Okay.
ETAs and everything. And then continue dispatching because my drivers are already finishing their morning deliveries or early morning deliveries, and then I'm dispatching them for the next steps.
So the next step would mean usually they do the deliveries and then you would get them to do a pickup?
Not every time. It depends on the day. Sometimes they are going to do the delivery. Sometimes they are going to the pickup. So it just depends.
Approximately how many moves does a driver do in one day? Local driver.
It also depends because sometimes the deliveries can take a lot of time. Even the LTL, for
Approximately. How many things does a driver do in one day?
example. Okay, they will go with, for example, like 8 trailers per day.
8?
Yeah.
Wow. So 8 deliveries and 8 pickups, or altogether 8?
Sometimes it's like 8 deliveries and 8 pickups. Sometimes it's less. Sometimes I have good drivers that are doing their best, and that's why sometimes they can do, for example, I had a situation when the driver got a full truck loaded in half of an hour with the backing up. So in this case, he will do a lot of job.
What is a stressful day for you like?
Oh, it's the breakdowns.
The breakdowns? Is that
Yeah,
so
always
the
the
trucks or the
breakdown.
trailers or any breakdown?
Yeah, because one day I had like 3 trucks break down in the morning.
3 out of 9. Wow. That's
And it was stressful because we will need to find with our shop the spare trucks for our drivers, and it was stressful.
so customers are calling you or the drivers are calling you, everybody's mad, their equipment is not working, or
No, nobody is mad, but just it happens, it's logistics. Yeah.
how do you deal with a situation where you have probably 20 other dispatchers throwing work at you? Either LTL, full loads. What do you do when you have Monday morning and on your board there's 32 deliveries for 9 o'clock in the morning? Does it happen?
Yeah, of course it can happen. Sometimes, yes, but I'm doing my planning like the day before.
So if today's Friday, you're planning for
Today.
Monday.
Yeah, I'm planning today for Monday.
Okay.
I'm taking a look. The dispatchers need to put all their loads that they have by 2 p.m. So I can have a time to check what I can do, what I cannot.
Okay.
Because it's like 9 drivers. I cannot do 30 deliveries 8 a.m.
Okay.
So if it's, for example, LTL,
Yes.
for 9 a.m. delivery, like the situation happened today, I asked the dispatcher to rebook the appointment because we just cannot deliver the LTL 9 a.m. by
Okay.
appointment. So I'm planning and I'm advising, guys, I can do this. Could you please ask your driver to deliver direct? If they can do that, yes. If not, we are rescheduling.
So all highway drivers throw their loads on you and you have to deliver everything here in the GTA.
Not everything. Sometimes they are delivering directly. If the driver is coming this day and he is able to deliver the freight directly, so he's doing that.
But nobody wants to do deliveries. Everybody wants you to do deliveries.
Of course, because they're advising the city. We have city for that. But our drivers need to do that.
So everybody wants you to do deliveries, and you try to manage the best that you can.
Yeah, and I think we are going good right now.
Yes?
Yeah.
You have a good, healthy
Yeah,
pace?
today is Friday and we are good.
Nice. Do you ever? What time do you start?
Today was a great because nobody called me. So yeah, 8 a.m. I was here.
And usually you're done by what time?
5:30
5, 5.
sometimes.
Nice. And what does a hectic day look like? 7:30? 7?
No,
No? 6? 5?
6.
6 a.m.? Oh my God.
Yeah, if they have delivery 6 a.m., of course he will be at the yard at 5 and he will call me.
What time is a long day here at the office?
Sometimes when the drivers have like pick up 7 p.m. and they have issues there, so the longest it was like the driver was texting me at midnight.
You just got a text message right now.
Yeah, it's our warehouse team.
And what do they want? Can you give me an example of what they text you about?
Yeah, so they just reported that the trailer has an issue.
The trailer? Okay.
Yep.
So a trailer has an issue. What do you do about it?
He should report it to the shop, so our shop will take care of it. And also, as soon as today is Friday, our shop will take care of it tomorrow because usually they are checking the trailers before they will go.
So our shop, all of the departed trailers, all trailers that are being departed, they have they do a PTI on them. How long have you been doing this?
8 months.
Pick up the phone. I'd love to hear one of your conversations.
It is. This is Julia. Hello, Jeff. I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? Okay, give me one quick moment. Okay, he's passing Innisfil currently. Okay, anything else I can do for you? That's all? Okay. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Okay, so what does this guy want?
It's our main customer, one of the main customers, and they were looking for the ETA of the third truck. Because these trucks are going far away and they need to know what time the driver will come there.
Okay. I heard your cell phone texting at least 3 or 4 times in the last 2 minutes. Is that how often you get text messages?
Sometimes it's like...
Sometimes 30 seconds?
Yeah, it's ringing and ringing and ringing because it's the end of the day and a lot of pickups deliveries my drivers are making right now, and that's why they are texting me. Some of them are doing LTLs. One driver is doing, for example, right now they're switching the trailers to make a scale because not all our city drivers have sleeper. So that's why we got an information from the customers that the weight of the freight will be 45,000 pounds. So we need to make sure that the highway driver will be good.
So you have to scale them?
Yep.
Got it.
And that's why the driver who was there, he has a day cab, so he cannot go to the scale. So I'm managing the switch.
So again, how long have you been doing this?
8 months.
8 months?
Yeah.
Wow. And how was your training?
My training was...
Like, how do you train for something like that, for this position?
Yeah, of course. I had a great teacher.
Yes?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now that you guys have heard from some of our dispatchers, I want you all to know that no dispatch team functions without a great safety department behind them. With over 115 trucks, over 250 trailers, 3 terminals, you better believe that dispatch and safety are intertwined. So let's hear from Mark, our fleet manager, who deals with literally every single breakdown and all the preventative maintenance behind our trucks.
How long have you been a fleet manager?
About 5 years.
5 years. What does a fleet manager consist of?
Fleet manager consists of keeping the fleet maintained properly, safety, PM-wise, and breakdowns, and dealing with dispatch and drivers.
A fleet of 115 power units. How many phone calls a day do you get from drivers?
From drivers, about 60 to 70.
60 to 70 phone calls a day?
Yes.
And what can the phone call be like?
Between a tire breakdown, lights not working, airbags, tandems on the trailer not sliding.
Got it. Is that because the equipment is getting a little bit older, or this is just the regular job?
Normal wear and tear of a big fleet like this that moves down the road.
Got it. Okay. Last conversation you had with the dispatcher, what was it about?
Well, right now we're working on PMs and safety, so we're trying to bring equipment back so we can get it maintained. Like do our safeties, do our PMs every 3 months. We do PMs on trucks and trailers, so we're trying to get everything back.
Got it. Oh, there's a phone call.
Oh, it's Bert. That's it.
Yeah, you can put it on speaker. We'd love to hear the conversation.
Hey, Bert, how's it going? You're on speakerphone, so be good. Okay, what's up?
I got a bad tire on. I think it's a rear axle on the driver's side.
Is it like, flat right across or just wavy on the ends?
Wavy on the edge.
If it's coming back here, I think we can go with it. Just find out from Inga or better yet, Nash. Find out from Nash if it's coming back here. If it's coming back here, we'll deal with it here. Because if you do a switch over, then I got to do a whole bunch more, right? Okay. All right, send me a picture, and then once everything comes in, we'll ship you everything.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Bert, thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, so explain the first phone call. What does it mean by one of the tires is...
When the guys call, they look at aesthetics of the tire.
Okay.
Like the tire is this wide, and sometimes on the sides they'll start with the wave, like little lumps on it. But DOT and MTO they don't look at the aesthetic. They measure by the tire depth, and tire depth is a minimum of 230 seconds. So if it's in Moncton and it's coming back this way, we'll do it here, right? Because if I change a tire there, now I don't have a spare underneath, and potentially something might happen between Moncton and here, and then I'm paying expensive money for a tire.
Got it. So you'd rather do all the repairs and maintenance here at the
Try
shop?
to do everything at the shop.
Give us an example of the call before this one. What does the driver want?
Call before this? Well, now what the driver want is that we have one truck right now with a DPF issue. He's in Edmonton, so I booked him into the Freightliner dealer. They're diagnosing it right now. It most likely be a DPF pump, which is fully warranty. So they'll change that.
What happens to the load that he's on?
He's empty. So all of that I would discuss. I knew about this 3 days ago. 3 days ago he was in Saskatoon, so I spoke with dispatch. Where is he going? When is he delivering? They send an email to me. He's empty now. I book him into the shop. They're looking for a load for him. He'll get fixed and he'll be on his way.
Now, dispatchers CC you on emails with customers where you give updates on what's going on?
No. Sometimes, but I'd rather just deal with the dispatcher. And let them deal with the customer.
Do you get dispatchers that are very annoyed by the time that it takes to...
Oh yes, every
Are they
day.
pushy?
Every day. Like every driver's on the load. Every driver has to go. But it's hard in the States right now because they're very limited on manpower. A lot of places don't have manpower. So you'll look in like one tire. If you go into a Love's or a TA, you're looking at 4 to 5 hours for one tire. They don't have manpower and they're so backlogged. So I try to find smaller shops to do the work. If it's a flat tire on the inside, try and see how far you can go with it, right? Just to keep it moving. But 4 or 5 hours is a long period of time.
Any other pushy dispatchers out there?
Everybody just wants their units keep moving. That's the thing. But you understand, when a truck breaks down, we don't know the issue. You have to wait for the mechanic to diagnose the issue. Once he diagnoses it, now you got to make sure you got the parts. Parts might need to be flown in. Parts might be UPS in. Dealers don't have parts. We rely on other people to give us parts. We have a stock room, but only limited amount of parts. There's hundreds of parts on a truck. Every day is a challenge. It's a challenge because there's so many things that can happen, down to, driver hit a bridge.
How often would that happen?
This year, we've got two.
2 in 1 year?
2 in 1 year so far this year.
Like major ones? They make it a convertible or just...
Front end. The bridge was too low, not paying attention to the height, and hit the front of the trailer.
Wow.
Gets very expensive.
Oh yeah.
Very expensive.
Most challenging repair that you've ever had to deal with?
Well, it would be a wreck.
A wreck? Like a
wreck.
rollover?
A rollover.
Like the one that we just dealt with?
The one we just dealt with. Unfortunately, we have no control over it. It's out of our control because we're not there. We don't have nobody on site to take control of it. So you're hoping everything does right? The safety department upstairs reaches out to the driver, calms them down, gets them help, gets them everything they need. But vehicle-wise, we're
hopeless.
We're hopeless, yeah.
How are your evenings and weekends?
Believe it or not, this last 2 weeks was really quiet.
Oh, nice.
It's been a beautiful one tire, one light. The fleet is, when you have a maintained fleet, everything moves smoothly. But there are stuff that's going to happen. A tire will go, a light will go, right? Drivers will have questions. It's just to work through it, that's all. This is my sheet I work with every day. This is what I have for safeties, for trucks. This is what I have for trailers. This is what I have for PMs for trucks. This is what I have PMs for safety, for trailers.
So that means every single one of those pieces of equipment has to be here on site?
Yeah. So this is what we've done, right? We did May, April, March, right? Yeah. So right now we have 13 trailers to do safeties and 11 trucks to do safeties. And we're the 11th day into the month. So we're halfway.
Nice.
but it's organizing. Like I'm dealing with Frank, I'm dealing with Borna, I'm dealing with all of them to see where they
So
are.
you call them to tell them to bring the this.
No, so what I do is, because I get a list from our system, I track them now. So I know that 78139 is out west in California. Now I'll track it to see where it is and try to find out from the dispatcher when it's coming in. Try and book a date for it to do the safety.
But you also have the list of next month's or no?
Yes, I have.
You have the list of
but I
next
try not to look at next month's yet,
Why?
because you're getting too far ahead yourself. Most of the time, you end up backlogged because you cannot do everything. You can do everything if you put the fleet out of service. But how does that look for you guys?
Why not do it after 10 months, the safety, instead of 12 months?
No, there doesn't. Every 12 months. Okay. I can do work outside, but problem is when you do work outside, you're screwed. You don't know what they're saying. They can say this, they can say that, they can say this. By the time you're done, it's $3,000. And how do you know it's been changed?
You don't.
You don't. So you try to get everything back here, which is kind of sometimes hard.
But doable.
It's doable if everybody works together. I'm working with Borna right now. Borna's good. Even our city dispatcher, Julia, she's really good.
Which dispatcher would you say has the most amount of pressure on them that you see?
Oh, it's Borna.
Borna?
Borna.
Right.
No, Borna and Farah. They're the head, so they're watching over many people. They have specific drivers, right? Mm-hmm. But they watch over everybody else. So that's a big part of it. Nice. But I can reach out to him. I'd send messages. When is this trailer coming? Like I sent a message today to Farah, right? Like Farah today, like this trailer is coming. She'll tell me it's going in for safety. You need to be balance and alignment. Tomorrow, we just did a safety on a truck. Needs balance and alignment. She'll reach out to the driver. I gave the address. He'll do balance and alignment in the morning. But it's communication. It's a big thing. It's huge.
Nice.
But it's a challenge.
Now that you've heard directly from some of our dispatchers, we hope that it gave you a clear picture of what a day in the life really looks like as a dispatcher. Now, over the last year and a half, we've made it a priority to give back to the industry that shaped us. As a team, we've worked to put together practical experiences based on educational content, covering everything from dispatching to freight brokering to safety and compliance and accounting. Now, for those considering a different path in trucking, it's all built on what we've learned firsthand, and we're simply sharing it with those that can benefit. Through Trucking Academy, we've also created a collections of free and paid PDF guides, checklists, and other resources to help you take your next step. Whether you're just getting started, looking to grow, or who knows, maybe some of you even want to open up your own trucking company or brokerage firms. Now, if you like and are enjoying this kind of content, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel where you can hear the latest, greatest information on trucking. I'm Ronan, and I'll catch you in my next video.